We're doing another spicy video of your comments. This ain't me spilling the tea, honey. It's you. Well, hello, my silky friends. Look, I love your comments. Yeah, I get some bad ones sometimes, but you know what? I don't care. I didn't think it was going to be rainbows and glitter when I started doing this. So go ahead, come at me. I want to read you a couple of things and give you some shout outs. Y'all are amazing people, by the way. I just love you. All right, this one is from Ms. Jackson. This is the most complex, mind-boggling case I have ever followed. I have never seen a case with a fraction of as many interrelated factors, characters, angles, and variables as the Delphi murders, nor have I ever encountered any case with half as many potential explanations. There are simply too many so-called coincidences and precarious interpersonal connections and relationships to weed out any possibilities and narrow in on any possible theory. I feel very strongly that this is a massive, multi-party orchestration with a lot of deep, dark, and highly guarded secrets. I suspect city officials and law enforcement are among those closely connected to the murders, along with Kagan Klein and Logan. In fact, the only person I'm beginning to doubt has any connection to the case at all is Richard Allen. I am not absolutely sure of anything, so this is, of course, only speculation. However, I feel we haven't even begun to uncover the tip of the iceberg yet. Girl, I am with you there. It's just a big old rabbit hole and tentacles. Well, you know, the more you look at it, the less Richard Allen's name ever comes up in any way. That is sus to me. What do you think? All right, let's look at the next one. I believe this is in response to my hand signals video or, you know, that kind of stuff. I can't remember, but Patty Marceau says, I have went down the rabbit holes, and yes, Mike Patty is in a cult club. I assume... I kind of stretched that S a little bit, didn't I? We know there are some other cult clubs around there, so I'm not really sure which one you're referring to. I just don't have enough information, you know, to begin to search those rabbit holes. But it is very interesting. And honey, that's very spicy. Now, this one comes from the video where I'm asking why Tobe Lazenby was even a suspect. And I know you gave me some practical reasons, which, you know, a lot of people look like that. My question is, what kind of sheriff do you have that someone would even suspect him to start with? I wouldn't suspect my sheriff, but, I mean, you know, I could be wrong, too. I don't know. Anyway, Holly Southern Style writes this. Wait, Tobe's handcuffs were missing? Do you have a link for that pricelessness you can post here? Is that why he was a suspect? Because I can guarantee you, back in the day when those images were clear, I saw handcuffs on the guy's belt on his left side, and I really believe those Bridgeman images came from the game cameras that were found and not be working, probably because they had captured that and wanted to plant it on the phone. In my opinion, there is at least 15 people involved in making this movie. Remember the comments actors. I do not believe any of the witnesses, nor do I believe the photographs, because those were planted on that phone. They're from 2 different days. I'm also curious at who the helicopters were owned by. Was it the sheriff's department, the news? Whose helicopters were they? And what was up with the one comment I heard come over the radio chatter about clown? I listened to it and kept wondering that it made no sense. I was kind of wondering if it was the guy's handle. Lord, Holly, I hope it wasn't a handle. That was, but referring to clown, I even saw a video, Lord, I can't remember where it was, about them talking about not looking at the face and the face being covered up. The witnesses said he had a mask or a scarf or something on, and then other people said he looked weird, so it made me wonder, was there a mask? There is a photograph, I think it is from Eye of Apophis, that shows a mask clearly on the ground. Yeah, that's really weird. I would love to hear your comments on this one. There's a lot of tea in this post right here. And let me ask you this, because the only videos or pictures I've seen of Bridge Guy is the popular ones, the ones that are everywhere. So in the early days, I guess, was there a clear? How was it clearer then and not clear now? That makes me question. And also this, excuse me, there were trail cams that weren't working. Oh, wow. Isn't that a coincidence? Let's add that to the 500 coincidences piled up already. Come on. How many coincidences can you have before you just realize it's all a made-up show? They just don't happen that way. We can't get the camera from the Marathon gas station. Oh, give me a massive break. The FBI couldn't get it. Lord have mercy. I feel pretty sure my daughter could get that if she wanted to, if she was looking to. You tell me the FBI, Washington, Disney, nobody can figure out what's on this hard drive? I'm calling straight up BS on that. Anyway, I'll settle back down on that issue. And now let's look at some more tea. Okay, this is by one of my favorite commenters on here because you always have so much information. If you don't have a YouTube channel, girl, you need to. Or a guy, I really don't know. I don't know who you are, but you need your own channel. Guess who was unofficially in charge of saying who went where and laying out a grid? Mike Patty. Tobe gave the okay for Mike to be in charge. He and Capitano are also very close. Capitano wasn't where he was by chance. He turned back a few people, but the one that sticks out is Brad German. He is Becky Patty's first husband. He had a dog and one of Libby's shirts to let the dog sniff so it would know what scent to look for. He was crossing the creek when turned back. The dog was going crazy, wanting across the creek. There's definitely something fishy going on. I don't believe for 1 second that story is completely true. I don't know anyone who would obey that order. Me neither. Think about who Brad German is. I don't know his age, but I'd guess at least late 50s. He's been around and done that, if you know what I mean. I believe he would have to be physically stopped from crossing that creek, and that's almost impossible out in the woods like that. If you throw in the facts like the search being called off and starting so late in the day on the 14th, it seems like they might have already found them and didn't want everyone out there while they were processing the crime scene. That would explain how they stopped Brad from crossing the creek too. However, there's too many things that debunk that. Libby's phone pinged at 2 a.m. Tobe sent the captain of the fire department to look for the phone, but it wasn't found. I think 2:30 was when the screams were heard at the crime scene. The phone is important. Why did it all of a sudden ping at 2 a.m.? Why did Mike say it was pinging all over town earlier in the night? Who had the phone with them and why did they take it back? If it really happened, did they have the girls and take them back too? If they did take the phone and bring it back, then surely they knew their pic was captured on it. That's why I think Bridge Guy is BS. It was planted. That's why it looks like more than one face at the same time. You do know, they said that Libby didn't have her own phone, right? She supposedly just happened to have one of Becky's old phones that day. Oh yeah, don't forget, Libby's normal phone had been factory reset when L.E. asked to see it. Tara did that. Again, how many crazy coincidences before we call BS? I'm with you there, girl. You have to figure out the truth for yourself or you won't believe it. Now, do you see why I call it the Delphi Vortex? I certainly do. Let me add to this also, I believe it was Misbehaved that did a video that shows, and I was shocked, that it was months after the crime that Becky Patty wrote to Apple to get those phone records. Now, I don't understand if that absolutely shows it wasn't Becky's phone, because if it was Becky's phone, then why couldn't she just access all of it? Apple would have given any information to the registered owner of that phone. So who was the registered owner of that phone? And then, surprisingly, a few months after that, Abby's mom did the same thing with Google, had to request. So I don't understand. You know, first of all, we didn't think Abby had a phone, but maybe she just didn't have it with her. Maybe, I don't know. But again, this is months after the crime, so yeah, that's a little sus. Check out that video by Misbehaved. Very, very interesting stuff. Love her channel, by the way. All right, I'm going to stop right there for this video. Please keep your comments kind if you can. Some of you just can't. Whatever. I'll read them anyway and respond. So I hope you have a great week. We'll be spilling some more tea. Keep those comments coming. I love this discussion. I hope you're having a great week. And if you found any value in this video, hit the like button. I will see you next time. And in the meantime, stay silky.